I tried apps, school classes, and even memorizing grammar rules. Nothing stuck. Every time I heard someone speak English, I felt small, like the language was a wall between me and the rest of the world. I didn't have money for a course or a private teacher. I had only one option: figure it out on my own. And that's exactly what I did. I discovered a way to learn English fast just by watching movies. No teacher, no course, no boring grammar books. Just me, a screen, and a simple method that actually worked. At first, I didn't even believe it myself, but over time, this technique helped me understand native English, speak with confidence, and enjoy the process. What happened next changed everything. If this content speaks to you, if you're tired of struggling with English, hit that like button. It tells YouTube this is helpful for you, and it'll show you more videos like this to keep improving your English step by step. Welcome to Stories to Learn English, the channel where your English gets better every day. Hit subscribe and let's get started. Before I ever spoke a word of real English, I was just a regular guy trying to force my way through textbooks and school exercises. I had the basics, sure, the alphabet, some classroom phrases, but I couldn't speak. I couldn't understand movies without subtitles. And most of all, I didn't believe I could ever be fluent. English felt like a giant wall built out of confusing grammar rules and words that disappeared the moment I tried to remember them. I thought maybe fluency was only for people who traveled abroad or paid for expensive courses. But deep down, I wanted more. I wanted to understand songs, watch movies without feeling dumb, and speak to people from other countries without freezing up. Money was tight. I didn't have a tutor, but I had time and I had the internet. I realized if I was going to make this happen, I had to take control of my learning. No one was coming to save me. That's when I started experimenting. I watched hours of English content. I got frustrated. I failed a lot. But every now and then, I noticed something. There were moments when I understood. A sentence, a word, a joke. That tiny spark. I followed it. I paid attention to what worked. And slowly, a pattern started to form. I didn't know it yet, but I was building the method that would finally unlock the language for me. One night, I was watching a Marvel movie, something I'd seen before in my native idiom. This time, I switched the audio to English and turned on the English subtitles. I had no idea what they were saying at first, but I forced myself to focus. I read the subtitles. I listened to the way the actors spoke. And then something strange happened. A word popped up that I didn't know. I paused the movie, opened a new tab, and searched for the word. Not for the translation, but for an image. I wanted to see the meaning. That image stuck in my mind like glue. No dictionary, no translation, just pure understanding. So I did it again. Another word, another image. And then I started noticing the context, how the word was used in the sentence, how it connected with the scene. It was like my brain was solving a puzzle, using clues from the movie to figure out what the word meant. That night, I barely finished the film. I was too busy rewinding, pausing, and writing things down. But when I looked at my notes, I realized I hadn't just watched a movie. I had learned 15 new words, and I remembered all of them. That was the moment everything shifted. I thought, what if I did this every day? What if movies weren't just entertainment, but my personal English teacher? That's how it all began. And once I committed to this method, the results came fast. I didn't invent a miracle, I just created a routine that made English stick. Here's exactly how I did it, step by step. First, I chose movies and series I already liked. Marvel, sitcoms, anything familiar. That helped me stay engaged, even when I didn't understand every word. Then I set the audio to English and the subtitles to English too. No translations. The goal was to connect English with image. That's key. Every time I heard a word I didn't know, I paused. I didn't just guess the meaning, I opened Google Images and searched for the word. Why images? Because your brain remembers visuals much faster than translations. A picture creates an emotional link. You see the meaning, not just read it. After that, I looked at how the word was used in the sentence. What emotion did the character show? What was happening in the scene? That context helped me feel the word, and that feeling, that connection, made it unforgettable. I repeated this process with every movie I watched. Some days I only learned 5 new words, other days, 20. But the important part was this: I remembered them, and I started using them. Soon I began speaking to myself, out loud, repeating phrases I heard in movies. I'd walk down the street talking to myself in English. People probably thought I was crazy, but I didn't care. I was training my brain, building confidence, and practicing fluency. When I felt ready, I searched for local events where people spoke English. I found language exchange meetups through a platform called Couchsurfing. I went, nervous as ever, but I spoke. I made mistakes, I laughed at myself, and I kept going. The real trick wasn't talent or perfect pronunciation, it was consistency. I made English part of my daily life. I stopped using subtitles in my native idiom. I watched YouTube videos, listened to podcasts, and even changed my phone's language to English. And with time, the results became impossible to ignore. I could watch a full episode of a show and understand the story. I could speak without translating in my head. I wasn't just studying English, I was living it. And that made all the difference. The first time I spoke English with a real person, I froze. My heart raced, my mouth dried up, and my mind went completely blank. I'd practiced so much alone, but in front of someone else, it felt like starting from zero. But then I remembered something from the movies, a phrase, a tone of voice. I tried to copy it. It didn't come out perfect, but it came out. And that was the moment I broke the barrier. From there, things moved fast. I went to more meetups. I spoke to travelers, joined online calls, and made friends who only spoke English. The fear slowly faded. I stopped needing to translate in my head. The words started coming naturally. I still made mistakes, but they didn't stop me anymore. I realized that fluency isn't about being perfect. It's about being understood. It's about having the courage to speak even when it's messy. After that, I started watching full movie without subtitles. At first, I caught only the general idea, but each week, it got clearer. I was no longer depending on text, I was listening like a real speaker. And every time I understood a joke, a pun, or an emotional scene, it felt like winning a small battle. My confidence grew. I wasn't afraid to speak anymore, not even to native speakers. I began creating my own sentences, using the words I had collected through months of watching and practicing. I realized something powerful. I didn't need permission to speak English. I just needed to use it. Every moment of practice, every paused movie scene, every awkward conversation, it all added up. And one day, without even noticing it, I had become fluent. Fluency didn't come from talent. It came from showing up every day when no one was watching. I didn't wait for the perfect method or the perfect moment. I used what I had. I made mistakes. I kept going. Learning English changed more than my communication skills. It changed the way I see the world. When you think in another language, you start to feel differently, to see life from a new angle. It's not just about words, it's about perspective. If you've been struggling, feeling like English is too hard or that it's not for you, I promise it is. But it won't come from perfection. It will come from progress. So don't give up. Use the tools around you, find joy in the process, and trust that every word you learn is one step closer to fluency. You can do this. I'm proof of that. If this story helped you, do one simple thing. Write one new word you learned today in the comments. When you write it, you remember it. That's how learning sticks. And if this content made sense to you, like it really spoke to your journey, hit the like button. That way, YouTube knows to recommend more videos like this that will support your English fluency. Remember, it's not about learning everything at once. It's about learning a little every day in a way that feels real. You're not alone in this. Let's keep going together. Subscribe and join the journey. See you in the next video.